Hey guys, Dynasty Warrior 6 here again with another Game Finds video. This Game Finds is relatively pretty cool. This is a Game Finds that my brother Daniel kind of helped me hook me up with some stuff. So what happened is my brother Daniel is looking to buy a house. And he decided to sell a good chunk of his video gaming stuff to me in order to kind of fund a little bit more money coming his way on the video game stuff. So thankfully, we came to a mutual agreement on the price. It was a little bit more than I normally spend. It was actually a lot more than I normally spend. But I'm trying to help him out at the same time. And he had some really good stuff. There was some decent stuff and some good stuff. Now, here's what happened too. After we did the deal, I drove over to the game store in my area. And I do apologize for the noise. There's an air conditioning going just in case you're hearing that noise in the background, guys. Just in case. So, there was a game store in the local area that I decided to visit real quickly to get rid of and trade in some of the stuff that I just did not want. There was just some stuff there that I did not want that, I told my brother Daniel I'm going straight over to trade like 30% of this stuff that you've given me or sold me just because I don't want it. It's just going to take up space, and it will be really hard to sell some of this stuff at Portland Retro. Like, some of it was just stuff I did not want. So, thankfully, I went over there and I traded some stuff in as well. I got mostly PS1 games and one Super Nintendo game. So that stuff will show up in this video as well. In fact, I'm going to grab the Super Nintendo game right now. I left that out by accident. So, just wanted to give you guys that heads up real quickly on that as well. So, there is some other stuff that I did pick up from trade-in, but it came from the same kind of lot. So we're going to start with my brother's stuff basically first, and then we'll go to the trade-in stuff, and then that will basically be it. So we're just going to hop into it. Now, there's not going to go in really any relatively major order. There's good games kind of sprinkled throughout my brother's collection that he had kind of going on. So we'll just start with one set and work our way through. First set, we'll start with PS3. Not very many games on PS3. First one is The Last of Us. And most of his games are complete except for a few, but we'll get through that. Kingdom Hearts. This is the, 2.5 or something like that. Whatever it was. Final Fantasy X and X2. I think he tried to sell it at one point. That's why that tag is there, but he had no luck. I even told him it's like a $5 game right now. Next up, alright, we'll start with these guys, is Xbox. Original. We have Halo. We have Halo 2. Dented. And we've got Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. And the last one, this is actually a really cool gem that he actually had, and I was kind of surprised he had it. And it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Xbox, complete. So, that was kind of cool to get that one in. Next up, that we'll go with is PS2. We have Metal Gear Solid 2, I'll be selling at Portland Retro. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, selling it at Portland Retro. Grand Theft Auto 3, selling at Portland Retro. Final Fantasy X, which I will be keeping for my collection. This is actually, me and my brother Daniel used to play this a lot back in the day. When we actually had two of them to make it real easy. Gun Cons, the Time Crisis 2, but we had the Gun Cons. We had two of them. This was actually a fun game. It wasn't actually that bad. The arcade's actually pretty good too. Keeping both of these games just to add into my collection. I got Kingdom Hearts 1. And I've got Kingdom Hearts 2. And the last but not least, but I wasn't a fan of this game when it first came out, and I honestly did not think it was very good. But it is complete, and it's a collector's edition. Dragon Quest VIII, the big fatty edition, but damaged a little bit, frayed on top. I wasn't a big fan of this game. We bought it actually almost together. We thought it was going to be way better than it was, and it was not. And it was very disappointing. Next up that we got going on is we have Wii. Nintendo Wii. First game is Animal Crossing City Folk. New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. Kirby's Epic Yarn. Super Paper Mario. Great game. Great game. This one's really great. Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Complete. And last but not least, we have Super Smash Brothers Brawl. Good game, so that's it for the Wii. Next up, I'll get this out of the way real quick. This is a Nintendo DS Lite. And he gave me a Game Boy Advance game, Super Street Fighter 2. So get those two out of the way real quick and easy. Next up that we're going to go with is Xbox 360. No particular, just going to go through it. Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Dead Space 1. Dead Space 2. And Dead Space 3. Street Fighter 4. Super Street Fighter 4. Resident Evil 5. Whatever. Resident Evil 5. Street Fighter versus Tekken. The Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, which is Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker. Black Ops 2. Halo 4. Alright, and that's it for the Xbox 360 games, actually. Okay, so next up we're going to switch to GameCube games. Two of these I'm keeping. One I'm going to try to sell at Portland Retro. First one is NFL Street. That's a keep. Let's see, I'll just throw it right there. Resident Evil 4 on GameCube, player's choice. Sadly, this one is missing the first disc, and I was kind of miffed at him about that, and I go, I thought you said you had all these games complete. He goes, I don't know what happened to that one. So what I'm going to try to do is buy the first disc on Amazon, complete this guy, and sell this one at Portland Retro. So, I'm gonna hopefully complete it. So, sell that one hopefully at Portland Retro. Actually, there's two games I'm going to be selling at Portland Retro. And the other game that I'll be selling at Portland Retro that is complete, The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. Good game to sell at Portland Retro as well. It's a duplicate for me. So, okay. Next up that we got going on, we have Nintendo DS. All these games are complete. Very good games. He had really good games on DS, and they're all complete, which is nice. First up that we've got Sonic Rush, Animal Crossing Wild World. Okay, that sticker's on the outside. Good. Kirby Superstar Ultra, Mario Kart DS, New Super Mario Brothers, SNK vs. Capcom Card Fighters DS, Mario Party DS, Legend of Zelda The Phantom Hourglass. Hanging on to that one. Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, Olympic Winter Games, whatever you want to call it. And Chrono Trigger. And last but not least, sadly it's got this sticker that I'm going to try to remove very carefully. Hopefully I can get it to come off. This is a very highly sought after game, I feel now, especially. Sometimes, it's very rare at least. It's very uncommon to see in this condition, or, this Pokemon Soul Silver. I gotta get that sticker off of, hopefully. But it's in really good shape. The box is in excellent condition. It's basically complete. Has basically everything in it. So that was very nice to add in. On Super Nintendo. Oh wait, I'll say Super Nintendo because that was part of the trade-in deal. So, alright, I'm gonna go with the trade-ins, or the next step. This is like some of the last stuff that he sold me. First game, NFL Game Day 2000. We're on PS1 now, of course. Invasion from Beyond. All right. Next up, let's see here. We got Wu-Tang Shaolin Style. And let's see here. Oh, this is a game I actually loaned him. And I was a little miffed because I've been waiting to get this game back from him. So it was kind of like, hey, I'm not buying my own game back when I loan this to you. And he's like, oh yeah, don't worry, it's okay. So I got back my Final Fantasy IX, which is my favorite game of all time. This is my minty condition Final Fantasy IX. This is super mint. I mean, like, this is perfect. I bought this for like $20 just because of how mint it was. So very glad to, get that back from him because that was my game. He sold me his Final Fantasy VII and his Final Fantasy VIII. And the last game he sold to me, and this is the last game that he sold overall besides everything else I traded in, and I'll show you the trade-in stuff, or what I got from the trade-in. He gave to me, or sold me, Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes. And that was it. That was it for the stuff that I bought from him. And there was also some consoles involved and other things like that, but overall, that was pretty much it. So, let's go into, now I traded in a really good chunk of stuff. He gave me a PS2, a Wii, oh gosh, there was a PS3 even, but I traded all of it in. I was just looking to get rid, just kind of get rid of some of the excess junk that he had. There was a lot of stuff that I wasn't going to keep, and I wasn't even going to try to sell at Portland Retro because honestly, guys, there was just a ton of just, like, not stuff that I really wanted and not stuff that I really wanted to deal with, trying to sell it and stuff like that. There's just, there's stuff you want to sell at Portland Retro, and then there's just stuff you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? So I traded a huge chunk of it in, and overall I was given $285 in store trade-in credit. So as you can imagine, I got some pretty few kick-ass items. Everything was kind of expensive, but I think it was worth it. So first game, now we're going to go with the Super Nintendo, then we'll go to PS1. First game that I got on Super Nintendo, I picked up for $30. This is all trade-in credit, so it's all basically, free. The 7th Saga for $30. And that was it for Super Nintendo. They didn't have a whole lot on Super Nintendo. I would have got more if there had been more on Super Nintendo, but there wasn't a whole lot there. So I decided to focus on the next best thing, and it was definitely an area I was lacking a lot in is PS1. So the first game that I got for PS1 for $15 was Twisted Metal 4. These are all Black Label and complete. Next up, for $40, picked up of course, I had to pick it up. Come on. Picked up Dynasty Warriors for $40 on PS1. Next up, I picked up for $30, and it is complete. I mean, minty complete. Resident Evil 2. And the last game that I picked up, now I kind of got a little heat for this from guys on Facebook, but I don't really care because this is trade-in credit. So this is basically like free. And it's a very rare game. Now, for the store trading credit, it was $180. Now, I don't really care that it cost $180, honestly. It was store trading credit. So, what do I care, really, But it's complete, mint, awesome looking, and it adds just, another level to my PS1 collection. A lot of these games help bump my PS1 collection up to another level. This is a major addition. And it's just mint. I mean, it's got one little scratch on the case cover, but overall, this thing is perfect. And I picked up Valkyrie Profile. And this thing is super mint, very nice, and I'm very, see, there's that little thing right there. But, Valkyrie Profile, guys, come on. So that, that's huge for anyone on a PS1 collector, because not only do I have Suikoden 2, Diablo, and even, some other, I think, what else do I got? I got Suikoden 2, I've got Diablo, I've got some. I got like Grandia and Brave Fencer Malashi. I've got some, solid gems now, and especially Suikoden 2. That's definitely a rare game. But now I've added in Valkyrie Profile to my collection. So all that has just boosted my collection massively. All these games have boosted my collection massively. I'm very happy to add in a lot of these games. I'll be selling a few, definitely, at Portland Retro. Definitely Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker, and hopefully I can get that Resident Evil 4 complete so I can sell that. So there's that as well. And that's about it, guys. It was a really good haul. My brother Daniel really hooked me up. I did have to pay a pretty penny for everything, though. Luckily, he didn't want the money immediately. He says I can do payments and make it work. So that was, the ideal situation right there. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I will hopefully see you guys later.